The thing which you see on your screen, guys, although we are not covering that topic as of now, but I'm waiting for 2 more people to join. And because I'm on that screen, so I'm explaining it to you. If you don't understand, that's completely fine. Okay. So you as a user can be a part of multiple company. Let's say that you are a freelancer, or you are an employee of IBM. Just taking an example, could be any company. You are an employee of IBM, but you are working for multiple clients. You are a cloud engineer for IBM, but you have 5 clients to handle. Maybe very less work, but that is the pattern IBM follows. Let's say, okay, these are just assumptions I'm giving you, not talking about IBM. Okay, maybe that is the managed resource or distributed resource. Maybe that is the pattern they follow. For human resource I'm talking about, employee, कि एक employee जो है multiple client का काम करेगा, and that happens, that is very normal thing, क्योंकि they know एक client का काम इनका मुश्किल से 1-2 घंटे का होता है, so at least let's put one resource for 3 clients and earn from them. Now that's what they do, that's their job. So no, okay, so in that case what happens sometimes, client जो है ना आपका, let's say that you are working for IBM, you are employee of IBM, but आपका client है Bank of America, IMF and Barclays. 3 ये है, और maybe कोई और client, it could be anything, Kraft or Bank of anything. Okay, so there is one possibility that they will create a user in their domain and they will give it to you. वैसा करते हैं तो well and good, fine. आप लोगों के सबके अलग अलग यूजर आईडी हो गए, but sometimes what they do while creating user, we saw the guest option वाला, guest account वाला option. Guest option में क्या होता है ना, that they create a user with your existing email address. If you have any email address xyz@ibm.com, so they will create a user as a guest user. So xyz@ibm.com, if you log in, you will be able to see their subscription and their resource group and everything. So now with a similar ID, if you have multiple companies, if you're working for 3 clients, so you will be a part of their directory using the same ID. You'll be part of 3 directories. So if you want to see that let's say that you're logged in here. Okay, I'm logged in here with my ID and I am a part of multiple directories. So I can go ahead here, switch directory. My default directory is this, my UT-Kloud.in, which is my current directory also now. And if I want to change the directory, I can click on all directories, and now I can go ahead and I can switch to this directory. I can switch to this directory, Hussein directory. I can switch to Isaac's directory. I can switch to this directory. I can switch to this directory. So how is it helping me? I won't have to log off and log in again and again. Clear to everyone? So I simply, what I have to do is simply, let's say now that I've got a task for some other client. So the simple thing I have to do is click on switch. And now I will be able to see all the resources, all the resource group, everything which belong to that particular company. Let's say this Badshah company we're talking about. Yeah, this is one of the previous students. See, they are practicing migration and they have kept the public IP, which is causing them some amount. Okay, so did you understand this? That multiple directories, you can be a part of multiple directory and just you have to switch the directory, but that is not a topic today, so don't worry about that. Today we are discussing virtual machine skill set. This I'm gonna teach you in detail when we do our Active Directory part. So today we are practicing virtual machine skill set. I'm creating a new resource group, so it will be easier for me to delete that resource group completely. But in your case, go ahead and delete all the resources one by one, or select all of them one by one. Difficult because you don't know the exact order. If you have created a virtual machine, if you try to delete a disk before deleting a machine, or if you try to delete a public IP or a network card before deleting the virtual machine, you will see it here. You will be able to click on delete. यहाँ पर थोड़ी देर दिखेगा and maybe you log off, but later on it will give you error and your resource will be there. So the better option is select all then delete. Then it will delete in a better order, a correct order. जिससे पहले virtual machine delete होगी and then the Nick will be deleted, everything, and you'll have your resource group empty. So in my case, I have access to create resource group. So I prefer to create a resource group for every practical, and later on I'll just simply delete the resource group. सब कुछ एक साथ delete हो जाता है. Okay. So now let's move to virtual machine scale set. In scale set, we discussed scale up. We are not practicing virtual machine scale up ka practical. I want you guys to do that. If you face any problem, let me know. Okay. We are going to practical virtual machine scale out. Add more of the same machine. यहाँ पर size change नहीं हो रहा है machine का. Okay. यहाँ पर machine का आपका size increase हो रहा है. It's the same machine, but it is getting bigger and bigger. It's the same machine, but you are getting multiple copies of that machine. So this is scale up. This is scale out. Clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, as I told you, in availability set or availability zone, whatever we discussed as of now, that is not a complete complete solution for my business problem. It is not a complete high availability till the time I figure out कि मेरे सारे users एक machine से कैसे connect होंगे और मतलब users divide कैसे होंगे, how will that happen? That time this is not a complete highly available application, right? So similarly, in virtual machine scale set, what am I saying here? If it is scale up, then it's fine. Scale up में तो क्या है ना, see, you have a machine here. इसका एक ही आपने IP दे रखा है, एक ही database है, सब कुछ है. All users are connecting here. So if something goes wrong, if users are increased, or maybe if it is time bound, what have you done in scale up में क्या होता है? Yes. What is the feature of scale up? Virtual machine scale set, scale up.
The size of the VM change.
Increase size and RAM of the machine.
Yeah. It's just one and same thing. Either say size or RAM or CPU. Size का मतलब ही आपका RAM and CPU बढ़ जाता है.
So where my question was that actually size बढ़ता है या अपन दूसरा instance type मतलब वो VM का type change करते हैं?
What do you mean by VM type?
Means like अभी AWS में जब करते हैं ना तो instant type change करना होता है, like from T2 micro to T2 medium ऐसा.
हाँ, so that's what the size
तो
is.
यहाँ पे कैसा होगा?
वही होता है, but that's what the size is. VM type, it's not the term here in Azure. The term is size. The one which you're referring to in AWS, same thing here, but we call it size here.
Yeah.
Here it is. So virtual machine का type, there's nothing called a type here, but size change होता है. So let's say that my machine is running on this one. इसमें एक virtual CPU है, 3.5 GB RAM है. Okay. Now it is time bound or traffic bound, it metrics bound, anything. But later on I have decided कि कुछ होता है तो इसका CPU 2 हो जाना चाहिए, RAM 8 हो जाना चाहिए. तो yes, it will resize to this machine, to this size. यहाँ से वो resize यहाँ पर हो जाएगा. Clear?
Yep.
So if you're calling this as a type, then yes, it will change the type, but we call it as size instead of type. If you are attempting Azure interviews, make sure you call it size. That size will get changed. Clear? See, there's no such thing called type here, but I got your concept is clear. What you refer to type in AWS, it's similar thing, but they are calling it size here. And if you have a bit confusion in these terms and everything, so it's better that you, while giving interview, you talk about both. कि हाँ, AWS में is this, and Azure में ऐसा है. So they will understand कि you know the concept and you know both platforms. But if you are specifically being stuck to Azure, that time do not use jargons which belong to AWS. Interviewer आपको इतना benefit of doubt नहीं देगा ये सोचने का कि यार इसको AWS पता है, यहाँ पर भी पता होगा. He'll think no, the candidate doesn't know about size and he's talking some random type which doesn't even exist in Azure. That should not happen with you. आपका ज्यादा knowledge आपके लिए negative नहीं होना चाहिए. Okay, so if you're sure about it, talk about both platforms. If you want to stick to one, make sure you use the correct jargon. Clear, guys? But yes, your concept is clear, Hussein. So this is what it will get changed. from DS1 V2 to it will go to D2S V3. But we are not deciding on this. We are deciding virtual CPUs and RAM. Clear, guys? To everyone?
Yes.
Okay. Now that is what is happening in your virtual machine scale set. If you select scale up. So here, if I'm doing scale up, coming back to my original question, initially it was 1 CPU and 4 GB RAM. I did some scale up, मैंने लगा रखा है, कुछ हुआ है या मैन्युअली किया किसी भी तरह से किया. So what is going to happen? Same machine, now same machine, very same machine will have, maybe it will reboot, but that's fine. But it will have now 2 CPU and 8 GB RAM. Now, is there any issue with connectivity, IP changing? कुछ इस तरह से हुआ? Do I have to worry about these users? कि इनको कैसे पता चलेगा क्या change हुआ है? Anything changes for these users, end users? In this process, guys, एक reboot होता है, that is fine. Maybe these people are disconnected for 2 minutes or 5 minutes, whatever it is. But apart from that, is there any changes for end user to understand?
No.
No, right?
No.
Now talking about this is scale up, don't forget. Now let's talk about scale out. Should I delete this? Oh, okay, let it be here. Now we're talking about scale out. Scale out में हमने same application, everything same. I started with one server. This is my some app. इसका ये है मेरा node 1 server node. This all are same thing, guys. Okay, 4 GB RAM, 1 CPU. My website is hosted on this one, like it was on this. My data and everything is on this one. Now, all my users are connecting me to this machine. Everything is working fine, but suddenly some video went viral, something happened, mouth publicity, maybe my competitor's website is down, or I have a good sale, any reason. Or it is time bound. That I knew कि यार 10 बजे traffic पड़ने ही वाला है because I've given some sale. Okay, this is how they're connecting to me. Now in virtual machine scale, this was scale up, this is scale out. Let's say that condition has met, time मिल गया या फिर आपका virtual आपका RAM जो है 90% से ज्यादा बढ़ गया. What will happen in scale up? Sorry, what will happen in scale up in this one? If those conditions are met, one of those conditions are met, कि इधर आपका CPU 90% से ज्यादा चला गया, 90%, 80%, 50, whatever you have selected, या आपका RAM उससे बड़ा ये हो गया, या that the time has arrived which you have selected. So what will happen in scale up, guys?
Size will increase.
Size will increase, machine will reboot, but that's fine. There is one machine, user will have a lag of 5 minutes, they will be able to connect. What will happen in scale out? Same conditions are met or time has occurred. What will happen in scale out?
Number of
Same
users
machine will be created.
created.
Right, and that's up to you. That we'll see in while configuring कि कितने machines बढ़ने चाहिए. At a time एक से बढ़ना चाहिए, at a time 2 बढ़ने चाहिए, at a time 3 बढ़ने चाहिए, या एक बढ़ गया फिर से पूरा डिवाइड होने के बाद भी ट्रैफिक उतना ही है क्योंकि ट्रैफिक बढ़ता ही जा रहा है. So there should be one more, there should be one more. So and maximum limit भी क्या होनी चाहिए वो भी उसमें हम कॉन्फ़िगर करते हैं और डिलीशन भी कॉन्फ़िगर करना पड़ता है. It should not happen कि मैंने कर तो दिया अब लॉन्ग रन के लिए यही चलेंगे. That should not be the case. Okay. So similar configuration I suppose. So I'm not writing them. Node 3, Node 4. Okay, इस तरह से बनता गया. Now, is it very helpful for me? यहाँ पर is it exactly same as scale up or do you think यहाँ पर कुछ और काम की जरूरत है, कुछ और काम बढ़ गया यहाँ पर? What do you think? What are the other tasks come to your mind when you say scale up and scale out? Scale up में आपको दिख रहा है कुछ नहीं है, सेम मशीन है, सेम आईपी फॉलो होने वाला है, डेटा मेरा वहीं पर पड़ा है, दैट्स फाइन. Scale out में what comes to your mind? I want you to answer. तो scratch your head, थोड़ा सा एक imagine करना start करो इस application को, and let me know what comes to your mind. कि ठीक है यहाँ पर 1000 लोग आ रहे थे ना, now I have extra servers which can handle the capacity, but still do you think something is pending?
Other machines might have different IP addresses.
Yes. What else?
Data disks.
Okay,
Connection
let's say
and
data you
syncing
are saying.
to all
Yeah,
the,
connection,
Yeah.
syncing. What else? Both are correct answer. What else? Configuration, guys. See, this machine is here. It has my data, it has my settings, it has my website and everything. What about configuration on this machine also? What about configuration on this machine also? कि मेरा application कैसे आएगा? ठीक है, I can decide कि same type की machine जो है ना, same size की machine यहाँ पर आ जाएगी, same operating system आ जाएगा, exact dicto machine आ जाएगा. But जो मेरा यहाँ पर application है, वो यहाँ पर कैसे आएगा? वो यहाँ पर कैसे आएगा? Right? So there are some extra steps in scale out. Clear a difference between scale up and scale out? Yes, guys, anyone has doubt? Scale up and scale out?
No.
Okay. यहाँ पर ये भी definitely show होगा आपका कि ठीक है आपने बना तो लेकिन इनको divert कैसे करना? How will I tell my users that please divert to here, please divert to here? I can't keep on sharing IPs at the last moment पे मैं IP नहीं change कर सकता हूँ अपने इसका, right? So that we are gonna learn now. Practical जब हम करेंगे इसमें सब clear हो जाएगा. But is it clear to you, to everyone? Scale up and scale out?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
What about others? If I ask some questions, will you be able to answer, guys? Please don't keep it to yourself. If you're not understanding, tell me. Nitesh, is it clear? Nitesh, is it clear to you?
Yes.
Sure. Should I ask you a few
Yes.
questions?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Rishikesh, I saw your practical, so I hope it's clear to you.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, Rishikesh, meanwhile, you can delete your resources, right? And yes, the same feedback goes to you also. Quota is not the error. Read the message properly. If it's quota, it's not an error. Yes, Leo, some question you have?
तो सोहेल भाई स्केल आउट में वो VM का रेप्लिका नहीं बनाएगा क्या? लाइक
We'll see that.
से
वो करते हैं ना अभी हम उसी पे आते हैं. Don't worry. We're not leaving anything, guys. इस तरह से बीच में कुछ भी नहीं छोड़ने वाले. So we are going to do that. Here I was just explaining differences क्या है और challenges क्या है. How to tackle those challenges? We are going to do that. Don't worry. ये मैं बताऊंगा आपको कि अभी और just इसी सेशन में होगा. We'll do it right away before. Now I am gonna ask some questions to you guys just to check your understanding. Or we are going to do this practical, and while doing this practical, I'll show it to you. कि किस तरह से इसको हम tackle करते हैं. Okay. So you
Suhail
should
bhai,
know.
I have a question.
Yes.
So Suhail bhai, I just want to know that it is mandatory to create a same configuration in a scale out option while creating a machine. Like we have a 1 GB. Can you open the diagram, please?
I got your question. Yeah, I'll open the diagram. Yes.
Yeah, so it's mandatory while creating a node 2, we have a 4 GB RAM and 1 CPU. Can we take us 8 GB RAM and 2 CPU for
You
that
can.
node?
No, it's not mandatory, but you will never ever see that. You will always see जहां पर भी high availability का आता है ना, तो it's always preferable कि आप exact चीजें लोगे. Same size, same operating system, same patches, just to make your application run smoothly. You will make sure कि exactly सारी चीजें आपको same लेना है. जितना similarities possible है उतना smooth आपका ये चलेगा. Solution आपका जो है work करेगा. उतना कम down time होगा, उतने कम issues होंगे. But technically you can have different sizes also. But don't
Well,
even
bhai,
mention that
Okay.
in your interview. Always stick to similar size, because in production environment you will never ever see different sizes. Yes, someone was asking a question.
भाई मैं लास्ट 2 लेक्चर में नहीं था तो मुझे वो थोड़ा सा प्रॉब्लम जा रहा है
कौन से टॉपिक पर?
अवेलेबिलिटी जोन और अवेलेबिलिटी सेट
Okay, so did you watch the recording
या
and still did not understand?
यस दैट्स व्हाई
Anyone else with availability zone and availability set issues? Yes, guys, feel free to talk. Please let me know. Anyone else? Okay, Nitesh, I see only 19 people have joined today, maybe because of the time change or something. So there are a few more people who are not attended today. Let me check with them also. Let me see how many people still have doubt, and what will I do? Not in these sessions, somewhere on weekday वगैरह, I'll coordinate with you और एक 1 hour का session में रखता हूँ and I'll explain it to you that. But before that, let me see other people also. I don't want to keep on repeating that, so I'll check with all of these guys. जो भी rejoin भी करना चाहता है, separately मैं एक session कर देता हूँ. But I won't record that और इस वाले इसमें उसको मैं रखूंगा भी नहीं. Even if I do the recording, I'll just give it to you separately. Clear?
ओके ओके क्लियर
Soil bhai,
Yes.
can you explain this diagram once again, if you don't mind?
This one.
Yeah.
This is very simple. Here we are talking about that the whole concept we are discussing is virtual machine scale set. The definition is it clear to you? What is virtual machine scale set? Why do we use that?
Yes.
Okay, can you elaborate? Why do we use that? Why should I? Let's say that I am an interviewer and I'm asking you, what do you know about high availability options? How many high availability options are there? Can you tell me? By the way, who asked the question?
Nelson.
Nelson. Okay, yeah. Say fine. So yes, Nelson. So Nelson, I see on your resume that you have worked on availability set, availability zone, high availability. So could you tell me that what are the options do I get? Let's say that my client wants to host an application on Azure. He's coming from on-premises. What options do you have for high availability? Yes, Nelson, what options do we have in Azure for high availability? Nelson, can you hear me? Are you speaking on mute, Nelson? Nelson, if you're talking, you're on mute. Guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
I think Nelson dropped or he has some issues with mic. Okay, so let him come back, guys. We'll do this question as an interview and I'll keep on doing this, guys. I have told you plenty of times, just because I'm asking a cross question to you, that does not imply or that does not mean that I don't want you to ask questions. I'm doing it कि इससे आपके interview की भी तैयारी साथ में होती रहेगी. And it is a great way of learning. It helps a lot. आपको याद रह जाता है. That is the only reason I do that. Just because I'm taking your name, I'm checking the name, that who asked the question, and I'm cross questioning, it doesn't mean at all that I don't want you to ask questions. That doesn't the message here. Okay, that is the reason I keep on saying this. तो आप लोगों के mind में clear हो जाए. I will ask name. I want to see who all are asking questions. I want to see कि किसकी understanding किस concept पे अच्छी नहीं है, किसकी अच्छी है. I will ask your name. I will check that, and I will cross question. So it will be a good practice for all of you, right? So do not ever stop asking questions. Even if I'm cross questioning, that is a way of answering to your question. Okay, so I guess Nelson is not able to speak. Okay, Nelson got a call. Fine, he texted on Zoom. So we'll skip this one now. I hope it's clear to others, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So now let's go ahead, guys. Let's go ahead and start the practical here, and then I will show it to you. ये सब हम एक साथ देख रहे हैं, right? Availability zone, availability set, virtual machine scale set, but how to utilize them, which is the next technology we are going to combine with it, and then it will be a complete solution. In isolation, these are not complete solution, right? So how to do that, we'll see that maybe next lecture whenever it comes. So let's go ahead and start deploying the virtual machine scale set. So I have a subscription here. I've created a resource group specially for this one. Virtual machine scale set. Anyone who can tell me how will I start creating virtual machine scale set? Anyone bother to go ahead and look कि क्या होता है virtual machine scale set? Like if I have to create a virtual machine, what will I do? Or storage for that matter, what will I do?
We'll create a virtual machine. We'll put it in the resource group.
No,
Name the
what option should I select here? Can you see my screen?
Click on create.
create.
Click on create. Now what? Yes, guys. Now what? What will I do next?
So you will select the image of the VMSS, the virtual machine.
No, are you guiding my steps
OS.
for VMSS or VM?
VMSS.
VMSS, are you saying?
No, VM.
VM. Okay, so I selected this. Fine, this is how I'm creating my VM. My question here is, how do I create a VMSS? Now you got the way how I want you to answer. So this is a good answer. Okay, this is how I can create VM. Okay, I know then further steps. Thank you very much. You helped me. Now I know I have to put machine and name and everything. I know that. It's okay. Now my question is, how do I create a virtual machine skill set? Can you guide me the steps in similar manner, please?
In the availability
services.
Options.
in the availability option.
Who's that?
On the left side panel, there is an option for availability and scaling.
Do you want me to create a machine and then do it? Is that you're saying?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. What about others? That is wrong, by the way. What about others? I didn't even see who answered that, but that's
Go
fine.
to all services.
Okay. Next. Well, I'll do that later. What next? Go to all services and
then select VMSS.
right. So guys, either you can go to all services, select VMSS. I mean, you don't have to create a machine and then do the skill set. Like we have an option, the virtual machine ke liye I can create it from here, or I can go to virtual machines and I can create it from here. Similarly, I can either go to all services or simply I can find virtual machine skill set here. यहाँ पर भी आप ये कर सकते हो. I'm not sure if it will come with VMSS. आ गया VMSS से भी. Or you can type the complete name, virtual machine scale set. Can you guys see? And now I'll see all virtual machine scale sets here. Whatever is there in my subscription, if I have access, read level access at least minimum होना चाहिए to see. If not, मेरे resource जितना भी access है उसमें कोई virtual machine scale set होगा, that will appear here. And if there is no virtual machine scale set and you want to create one, you can see it here. Clear to everyone how to start creating a scale set? Anyone who missed the point want me to repeat it? Okay, so I was here at home. Now I will see it directly just because I used it. यहाँ पर recently used service दिखता है. So either you can go to all services and search for that virtual machine scale set. यहाँ पर मिल जाएगा कहीं पर आपको. Maybe it will be in compute. If it is not there, here it is, virtual machine scale set. This is one way. Or the other way is you are here most of the time, you are here working somewhere. Recent इसमें आपको वैसे ही दिख जाएगा. If it is not there, you can come here. You can search for virtual machine scale set, or you can search for VMSS and you will get virtual machine scale set. You click here. Sorry guys. Yeah. You'll see existing sets, existing virtual machine scale set. If there are no virtual machine scale set, or if there are, no matter what is the case, you can create a new from here or here. It's same thing. Okay, so I'll click on create virtual machine scale set. Clear to everyone till here? At least my virtual machine scale set के option तक कैसे आया? If I'm giving you some task, it should not happen that you are creating virtual machines and then asking me कि virtual machine scale set कैसे बनाना है. So I hope it's clear to everyone that from beginning you are creating a virtual machine scale set. You don't create virtual machines and then put it in a set. Availability set, it's a different thing. Availability zone, it's a different thing. Virtual machine scale set is a different thing. Clear to everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
So I'll select my resource group or I'll create a new one, whatever it's your request. But in this case, I have already decided or I have already identified a resource group जिसमें ये सब जाना है. I'll give a name here. Is it a machine name I'm giving or virtual machine scale set name I'm giving?
Virtual machine scale set.
Scale set name.
Here it is. Yeah, it clearly says. Now the region in availability zone. Now those virtual machines which I'm gonna get, guys, right? जो virtual machine मुझको मिलने वाले हैं 3 scale set जो मैं बना रहा हूँ, where do I want it? Do I want, okay, what is, don't get confused here, okay guys? If you're getting confused, ask me, I will explain it again. Now what does it mean scale set, virtual machine scale set mein, when we are talking about scale out, what does it mean? If you're doing this scale up कर रहे हो तो ये सारा question ही नहीं आता, doesn't matter कहाँ पर कर रहे हो, it's okay. Scale out में apply होगा ये. Scale out में what am I saying? That if this time occurs or if 90% of the RAM is being used, another machine should get deployed. Right? That is what our scale set is. Yes, guys? Yes, no, maybe? Clear? Scale set?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So where should that another machine go? Should it go in the same zone or should it go in a different zone? That I can
Should go on
decide.
same zone.
It's up to you. No, both options are available. Scale set में जो है ना, यहाँ पर दोनों options available है आपके पास. Understand one thing, guys. This virtual machine scale up, this is high availability against what? ये आपका high availability किसके against है? किस threat के against आप high availability achieve कर रहे हो यहाँ पर? Is it against data center failure? No. Is it against data center failure? Or is it against the resource का जो कमी होता है उसमें? That insufficient resources.
Insufficient.
Insufficient resources. Fine. So ठीक है, मैंने ये तो बोल दिया कि यार अगर यहाँ पर 1000 यूजर हो जाते हैं, 90% से above होता है, तो एक और मशीन आनी चाहिए, एक और मशीन आनी चाहिए, एक और मशीन आनी चाहिए, बट सब कुछ आ रहा है सेम जोन में. And now what if that particular zone is down? Do I have any high availability against that? If I'm
No.
only sticking to virtual machine scale set, I am targeting or I'm figuring out a solution for one sort of high availability, which is the traffic. कि ठीक है 1000 लोग अगर आ जाते हैं instead of 100, I know what to do. Extra virtual machine, have it, and it's okay. Now load is balancing, and I am able to give services to my users. But what जो मेरे multiple machines है वो जिस zone पे थे वो zone ही down हो गया. Did I think about it? No. Then that is not my completely high available solution. That is a partially high available. जहाँ पे ये तो होगा but node चला जाएगा, जैसे ही कोई zone चला जाएगा, I'm not getting anything. So to avoid that, to combine both of them, कि ठीक है मुझको extra machine भी चाहिए and I want कि वो machine अलग अलग availability zone पे भी चले, इस पे भी चले जाए, अलग अलग zone पे भी चले जाए. So that is why we have this option. So what will happen? Node 1 यहाँ पर है, 90% CPU बन गया, node 2 अपने आप zone 2 में चला जाएगा, node 3 अपने आप zone 3 में चला जाएगा. Are you guys getting it or any confusion?
So
Yes.
I have a question here.
Yes.
So what about the region where the zones are not available? So on that region, we are
Only
not
one
getting
zone.
that option.
Yeah. That's what. So you'll have to be very specific to your client. that if you want, for some compliance reason, if you want to be in this particular zone, in this particular region, there you will get virtual machine scale set, but with virtual machine scale set, this is what a threat is. कि ठीक है, आपका load balance तो हम कर लेंगे, you will have 10 machines if load is increasing, but all of those 10 machines will be on one region only and one zone only, because this region doesn't support multiple zones. So the client will know about it, but there is no other option.
So,
अगर
Sohail
zone,
bhai, yeah, Sohail bhai, so I have a question like, then how it covers the high availability then?
then it's not covering that application. This is covering partial high availability. कि ठीक है, multiple लोग आ जाएंगे ना, वो cover होना चाहिए. See, you guys don't decide that कि कौन सा application की high availability रहनी चाहिए, किसकी नहीं होनी चाहिए. You guys are there to deploy it, to understand the technology. Business जो है application owner समझता है, his application, his decision. He says कि मुझको नहीं चाहिए भाई आपका availability zone जो आप sell कर रहे हो ना, मुझको I don't need that. I need scale set. मुझको पता है कभी यूजर बढ़ जाता है, कभी कम होने, मुझको उतना ही चाहिए. अगर वो जोन, वो रीजन डाउन हो रहा है, मेरी एप्लीकेशन डाउन हो रही है, लेट इट बी, आई कैन बेयर दैट. If application says
But
this,
Sohail bhai, Sohail bhai, last question, like VMSS is a part of high availability, right? So if
so
we are
we are
not
giving
providing
high
the
availability, partial high availability against the multiple users. We are giving high availability. Are you getting it? This is, don't consider high availability एक ही तरह का definition मत consider करो उसको आप. There are multiple ways of high availability. Availability set भी तो एक high availability है, right? Same question arises, वहां पर भी तो multiple zone नहीं है. What will you say there?
yes.
Right? So it's not your hectic. जो है Azure में वही है. You are not going to create something new for them. It's the decision lies with application owner, what kind of solution you want, and it's you who will guide them in deployment. Actual guidance to architecture team level पे उनको मिल ही जाता है कि, but let's say that there is some compliance issue कि वो इस region से बाहर जा ही नहीं सकता है, then it's up to them कि उनको ये करना है, नहीं करना है, या किसी और तरह का solution utilize करना है. But for you, आपका काम इतना है that you should know कि okay, what does it mean if I'm selecting 3 zones. ये नहीं होना चाहिए कि यार आप बस select कर रहे हो. That should not be the case. Clear to everyone that what will happen if you select 3 zones and what will happen if you select 2 zones? Okay guys, less than a minute is left, so we'll take a break of 10 minutes now. I have to just rename some files there and convert them, and then we'll resume at 11:35. Look at this one, capture a screenshot if you want. If you have any questions, we'll come back and discuss on this and today, and we'll finish this practical today. Okay guys, I'll disconnect the call and see you in 10 minutes, 11:35.